guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Gaming, and Sunny Mount Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on another Let's Play episode of Far Beyond the World. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alrighty. I'm getting close to, apparently, a controversial part of this, visual novel, so, alright, let's push forward, see what we run into. I see no point in discussing it, not when it's absolutely clear that I'll have to deal with all of this on my own anyway. You seem a little freaked out, he mutters as I struggle to crawl from underneath him and get up to my feet. I walk up towards the table and pour myself a glass of water, which I drink up thirstily. There's a mist gathering in front of my face, and despite the embers still burning inside the braziers, it's gotten incredibly cold. Without a word, I pick up the dress and decide to put it on. My fingers jitter so badly that I'm able to clip the pins together. Okay, not a little, a lot. You're setting my fur on edge. It's fine. I told you I'm fine. I snap, only to have him look at me pitifully. You're not. You're trembling and crying. You're very much in the same state as you were when we first met. What? Instinctively, I bring my hands to my cheeks, and there they are. 2 wet streaks trickling down, and I'm not even aware of it. I'm so stunned and surprised by my state that all I can think of is to lash out. And you're surprised by that? You're surprised that I'm falling to pieces when you pulled the rug from underneath me? Seriously? I thought we were past this. He sighs, rubbing the ridge of his nose. Not by a mile! If that's how you want it to be. Want? I want nothing of the sort, but my wants clearly do not matter. Okay, enough. This time it's him who raises his voice. If you don't want anything to do with me, just say it, but don't jeopardize my mission. My people's life depends on it. The wolf looks to me with a serious expression, and I sneer. Of course, I wouldn't want to be the usual burden that I am. You can get me arrested acting the way you do. My people aren't looked upon kindly in this town. Gee, I wonder why. I really cannot deal with this right now. He sighs heavily, hiding his muzzle deep into his palms. I have enough worries as it is. Everything hinges on the audience with the magistrate tomorrow, my father's future, my friends' lives. Hate me if you need to, but please, try to collect yourself. His voice softens and he finally gets up, taking a few steps towards me. Tomorrow might be the last time we see each other for a very long while. I want it to be a good day, for both of us. Like all the ones when you strung me along? I taunt challengingly, and he stops in his tracks. I did what I had to give you some good memories you were clearly begging for. I wanted to help you through whatever it is you're struggling with. When I found you, you were weeping at the sight of the rain. You think that you... No, I won't be doing this. He cuts me off through a soft growl as he collects his gear. I won't be dragged into another argument. There are more important things at stake here than my standing with you. I never intended to hurt you. The wolf states plainly, turning his back on me as he approaches the door. Either you'll figure that out on your own or you won't. That's your choice. I did everything I could to make amends. He says with a hint of hurt in his voice before stepping outside. I stand there, looking at the doors in shock as they close behind him. Once alone, my rattled chest begins to heave uncontrollably. How dares he? All this patronizing is insufferable. My face contorts painfully and I feel another episode of hysteria approaching. I try as best I can to control it, but... Surrender to the pain. Let it flow like a twin river. No. No. Oh, God. I watch as all remnants of brightness are being sucked out of the room and everything begins to twist and turn. No, no, no! I can't stay in this room. The walls seem to close in on me. I rush towards the door, struggling to take a hold of the door handle. Finally, with a firm grip, I manage to turn it, pulling on the door with all my might as the room presses against it as if we were underwater. It's a Herculean task to even crack it a little, but eventually a big enough gap allows me to squeeze through. The door slams violently behind me as I fall onto the corridor, immediately throwing myself towards the only window. My hands tremble as I try to unlatch it and get some fresh air. The panel moans as I slide it upwards, pushing my head outside to take greedy inhales. Once I feel the gentle breeze cool me down, I return back inside, sliding gently against the wall. But when I open my eyes, I realize I'm not alone. A female tiger stands at the other end of the corridor, a smoking pipe in hand, giving me a troubled look. Fuck, I made a spectacle of myself yet again. What? She asks in quite commanding tone, and I realize I've been staring at her for a few moments now. Is that tobacco? I blurt out a question, and she rolls her eyes, taking a long, exasperated puff. Not another one. It is or it isn't. What of it? Nothing, it's just I recognize the smell. Indeed I do. It is tobacco, and again this odd, past-life feeling washes over me. You're in some kind of trouble, kid. No, why do you think I am? You're clearly broken about something. I could hear you sobbing half through the night. Put a real dumper on the mood. I had to refund one customer. Oh! She's a prostitute. Probably the very same we heard last night. I'm quite stumped and embarrassed, but expression caused the female to first snort and then erupt in laughter. What's so funny? At first, I thought you were another whore like me, just a fancy type, a bit more exotic, thus able to charge more. How else would you afford that dress? She points to my tunic, and I instinctively grab its edges to spread it out a little. Oh, it was a gift. Whores don't get gifts like that. Not the ones in here, anyways. Seeing your shock-laden face tells me you don't really belong here, do you? No, I mean, not in my mind, but truth be told, this might become my home soon enough anyway. I smile awkwardly, and she smiles back, approaching slowly. The accent and your manners also tell me you're of higher stock. So, how did a well-born, well-bred human end up in a dump like this? Second yell, water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? It's a long story. She takes a deep inhale from her pipe, releasing a thick cloud to the side. Hey, I've got time to kill now, and between now and my next appointment. I also have a nice bottle of port you clearly need, and I'm willing to share. I blink in shock at the offer. Why would you care? Give me something to do. She shrugs. And in all honesty, I would do anything to shut you up. That sobbing is killing my business. That, and I'm bored. Her tone is more teasing than accusatory. With some of the clients acting like carpenters, banging at me as if I were a table in the making, it's nice to have a chat every once in a while. You seem interesting enough. I don't think you'd want to hear it. I shudder, not sure how open I could be about my sexuality, and it seems my embarrassment is read by her like an open book. Why? Because you like a bit of woven cock? Who am I to judge? I once slept with a female rhino. Finding her hoo-ha was trickier than you'd think. Let me tell you. She shrugs merrily, and I laugh at the absurdity of that statement. A rhino? Long time ago, and not true. Anyway, the female takes a long huff from the pipe. I saw your roommate storm past me a moment ago. A purposeful gait like that can only be fueled by a lover's quarrel. Wouldn't exactly call it that. Call it whatever you like. As I said, I'm willing to lend my ear. Okay, I could use a chat. I nod in agreement. In truth, I don't really want to be alone right now, and if this is to become my new home, seeing as she's a regular, building a rapport this early on might be a good idea. Stay right there. I'll fetch the port. I'd invite you to my room, but it's not a place someone of your stature should be seen entering or leaving. True to her word, she returns shortly with a bottle in one paw and 2 crystal chalices in the other, her pipe securely held between her lips. For a moment, I'm reluctant to open the door to our room, patting the handle as if to check it won't burn my hand. Whatever's the matter? She asks in confusion, and I finally realize that all those freakouts are just in my head. Nothing. I shake my head and push the door open. I doubt that manifests anything for both of us to witness. As she places the glasses onto a cupboard, she grabs the bottle and pours us around, swishing the pipe about in an elegant way which leaves a soft trail of smoke behind. Mind if I smoke here, or are you seriously that averse to it? What do you mean? That spectacle with the window. She bops her head towards the door. Not the first time a snobby neighbor complained. Oh, no, I don't mind. I shake my head in embarrassment as I try to figure out how to get the lights going. That was something else. Mm-hmm. She narrows her brows with a slight smirk. Here, let me help you. The female approaches one of the candles and puffs into the pipe, causing it to flare up. She lights up the wick with it, and thus the light returns to the room. I watch as she gracefully walks from one candle to another, lighting them all up in similar fashion, until finally she returns to the table and nods towards the chair. Shall I sit here? Please, make yourself comfortable. I reply through a smile while she passes me one of the filled-up goblets. So, tell me that story of yours. Which story? One that's long and improper. Mama wants to hear it. Are you sure? Honestly don't have that much time, kid, so let us better not waste it. She sighs in mild annoyance, huffing another cloud of smoke away. I smile and nod, taking a deep breath and even deeper gulp from the cup. I begin as I should, with me being naked and covered in blood at a tree in a forest to her mildly surprised expression, but she doesn't bat an eye. I explain everything that transpired in Tiernan, trying to leave out details that might put the tribe in jeopardy, the politics, the war. I just paint a good enough picture of everything that related directly to me. But mostly, I focus on my budding relationship with Ranok and my current gripe I have with the wolf. I don't know how long it takes for me to cover everything leading up to our trip, but she seems interested enough for me not to pause, nor is she interrupting me with questions. She just listens, taking in my comments with either a nod or a smile, intertwined with long puffs from her pipe. Finally, I relay the expedition of ours, which holds her captivated with her eyes gleaming in part with curiosity, but also slight envy? It seems she didn't get to enjoy much wholesomeness in her life. Either way, at first it's hard to get into the sexual details of the story, but she puts me at ease with a simple laugh and a reminder of what she does for a living. No point being coy or bashful in front of a prostitute. To be honest, sharing the details of my first time with Ranok, even though marred by what transpired immediately after, feels nice. It feels like the good type of bragging one does with his friends. In truth, telling her any and all this feels really good, almost as if I unload part of the burden. But now that my story's done, I simply hope for an outsider's perspective. So, that's pretty much it. I finished, dipping my lips in my chalice. He strung me along all this way, only to drop the truth on me by accident. That is some serious entitlement issue you have, my boy. What? I mean, it's expected given your status, but still. Nothing I can't fix. Let me tame this shrew. First of all, do you pleasure yourself? What? I blurted out in shock, my face slowly matching the burgundy of the port. Oh, shut it, kid. You're talking to a whore. I don't see any relevance. Of course you don't. I'm sure you have never rubbed one out only to be suddenly hit with a massive guilt. It's normal. She shrugs, her voice laid with pity. You have no idea how many guys I had to console immediately after they were done. Half of my sessions end with tears. That doesn't make it any better. It's worse, in fact, that his sudden honesty comes from a post-orgasm feeling of guilt. You are really oversimplifying things, seeing the world in terms of black and white. The female scoffed, switching her crossed legs and pouring herself the last part of the port from the bottle. Alright, y'all, I gotta pause right there, I gotta get ready for work. Alright, thank y'all so much for watching, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!